Pessoal, bom dia. Hoje estamos aqui com dois integrantes da banda Corvus, Corax, o Norri e Drescher, e o Castus Rosenberg, que são vocalista e baterista da banda, respectivamente, e a gente vai conversar um pouco sobre a carreira, a trajetória da banda, que tem um grande significado aqui no Brasil, tem muitos fãs. E então, Norri, Castus, welcome to the channel, the Viking World. It's a pleasure receiving you too. It's a big honor. I'm a very fan of the work of the band. So, how do you start the composition of the band and how the band starts the career? How can you explain about the beginning of the band, how this starts, how can you have the idea for form the Corvus Corax?
Yeah, we started in East time. So the beginning was in the street. We were buskers, so street musicians, and we start to play old music with old instruments, handmade instruments. And so, but it's not like musicians, more like punks, because the system in East Germany was to play in the street was totally illegal, and we start to try like real minstrels, like medieval musicians, to go from one little village to the next village, and we start to play for the farmers, for the children, and so we get much money. So they give us food and money, and so we think, okay, we have to go on stage. And then the wall was broken, so, and then we met Norri, and we think, okay, now we have to go on the big stages, and so it was a long way. Like AC/DC to the top.
That's nice. And the band have focus in folk music and have a lot of the words and music about Norse mythology. How do you have the idea to incorporate the Norse mythology in the songs? It's a thing that all of you like, or it's a particular thing of all Norri or you, Castus, what is the start to incorporate lyrics based in the Norse mythology?
The thing is not only Norse, because the beginning was real medieval Middle Europe and also South Europe. Like Italy, and because from there so comes many different manuscripts, medieval manuscripts, and this was 2011.
Yes, 2011 we started. You know, we when we kind of checked all of Europe, and even we went to Asia to find new ideas in the past, and then we figured out we never touch the culture of the north of Europe. And so we started to research a lot, and so 2011 we started to take our focus on the northern mythology and culture. So so the Celtic people and all the Germanic stuff from the north, Viking music, and very, very interesting.
Oh, that's very, very different. I think it's a start for the band that is very, very interesting, because people in Brazil love the music with this theme of the Norse mythology, the folk music, and this is very present in the taste of the persons that like the band. And you have a lot of featurings like in Why on the Fray and the Hugin Mooney recent music. What is to be part with these singers in the songs with they have featuring the songs?
All the lyrics are, oh no, not all, but many lyrics from our CDs comes from Edda. This is a very old, like a Bible for the Vikings, and also not only Edda, also from Völuspá. It's an older version from the Edda, but also we found something Celtic stuff in old Irish, in old books. And then also it's very famous, the Beowulf saga. And that is a story, it's an old English, but it is a Viking story. So, and everything what we sing is original. It's an original language. And so when, and in Old Irish and Old English and Old Norse, this is the Viking language. And it was not easy to find some people who can teach me to sing in that language. But we made it possible.
Yeah, these are really old languages. Even when the people now have, they will understand some words, but it's extremely old. So we need to find really professors teaching Castus how to spell and how to talk in this old language. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, but this was not new for us because also we sung. Yeah, we sung in old language in Latin, in the medieval Latin version. It's not antique, and also in Provence, in Norman, and so and Old Greek, and so
even the Old German you can't understand anymore.
Yeah. So Middle High German and Old German. So also we have. It is similar to the Old Viking language. So since a long time we practice that, and this is typical Corvus Corax to sing in the old language, and but also to tell stories. It's like we are teachers but alive. It's a history alive.
Yes, it's amazing that is have these lyrics in Old Norse and other antique languages. Is very, very interesting to see this in the band. I think the band was one of the first that starts this part of folk, or having others in the same time. We are very time similar that have the Corax and expand for other bands inspired on other generations, I think, of the bands.
Yeah, but also when we started, after was Netflix was a series Vikings, and then it was totally popular. But so we were before. We are the beginner from Vikings.
It's much earlier than the Viking wave.
Yeah, that's true. And what is give the participation of the female singers in some songs that have Corvus have with some accompaniment of of these singers in some songs? How did you have idea to have these singers in some lyrics?
Maybe you know our project Cantus Buranus. Did you check this? So in the past we had a special project, so we connected our medieval music with a huge orchestra, and in this case we had a very, very nice vocal singer, and we realized this is really nice to have sometimes, we are all men, we have no female in our band, but sometimes a female voice is a very nice addition to Castus vocals, because of course it's a totally different character. And so for the last CDs with all this Viking mythology, there are some parts in the stories a female is telling the story, and so we thought, okay, and we have a very good friend, Andis Hatla from Iceland, and so she is very connected to these old history things as well, and she has a wonderful voice, and so the collaboration was necessary.
Yeah, I think it's amazing because in the songs like the recent song Hugimonia and the Wild Frey, I think it's very beautiful. The partnership with the singers, female singers in the songs, and that's very, very interesting. It's a combination that give the songs a very powerful expression.
This was a little bit luck, because I looked for one teacher who can teach me the Old Norse language, and then one woman say, I'm sorry, I don't have time, but my friend Andis Hatla, she can teach you. And then I contact her, and then I hear that she was also famous singer in Germany for one horse show, Appassionata. And then I say, hey, if you can sing, why we don't do it together? And then I hear her voice, and I was fall in love. So she taught me to speak or to sing also in Old Norse. And then when I hear her voice, that was logical to do it with her together.
Right.
Oh, that's very, very, very interesting. Of this part of the history of the band, because I think this mix of vocals and the female and the male voice in some songs are very, very, very interesting thing. And you have a different video clip that is very interesting of Beowulf, that use some how can I say a different type of video, because we see some dolls made of paper and appearing with a dracar and some characters.
Yeah, we have one artist.
But very interesting how this is made.
We have one artist, one painter in the band,
yes.
Xandro. Normally is a bagpipe player, but also we know that he is a painter, really good, crazy, because he's from Mexico, and in Mexico exists a very colorful art, different to Brazil and also different to Germany. I think you know the typical Mexican style. And then we had the idea to make like with puppets. So, and we were thinking, and also in that time was Corona. So was forbidden to play, and so we think, what we can do. And we spoke with Xandro, and he said, yes, I like. And he painted, and then Norri and me, we have to cut the paper.
Yeah, we construct an entire little puppet theater, with, so everything is really handmade. There is no digital stuff in this video. This is really extremely old school, handmade, and we really love it.
Wow, I love this video. I think it's so different of the types of video clips, and I think it's interesting doing to make, because it's very, very, very different painting, and very beautiful. In the same time, it's funny because we see the characters moving around in in like a puppeteer theater. It's very very interesting, very different.
Yeah,
And
the thing is, you know, this is what we are talking about now. It's our new side project. We always have some Corvus Corax. It's still Corvus Corax, but then we have a new idea. We want to combine like the Cantus Buranas orchestra thing, and this time it is that we're playing our own songs in a metal version. So and Era Metallum, and this is kind of modern, but the video, it's like the minstrels did in the past. You know, they were not only musicians; they had a lot of things. They were juggling, and sometimes they had a little wagon, and then they built up a theater on the marketplace and told a story, and then played the music for it. And this is in this very old tradition. This is kind of a minstrel video.
yes, it's a very very interesting video. It's I think one. I think you are one of the first bands that change the type of the how express video clip, because Beowulf is very different. Is the first time that I see using this type of puppeteer show with mix with this. You say you cut the paper and put to express in a video. I think it's combined a lot with the lyric of the song, and have this idea of the monsters of the sea. It's very very interesting. And you can talk a little about more the recent work the that you made, Era Metallum. How this is doing this album? How can you say about a little more about the album?
The thing is that some years ago, some festivals, they invited us before that album exists, and so Corvus Corax played on big festivals, Wacken, Summer Breeze, and so
Big metal fest.
yeah, big metal fest. And then the people say, "Hey, that was great what you made, but you don't play the guitar, only the bagpipe and the drums and crazy language." And so, and we were thinking, maybe it's time to make a real metal program, because the material what we had, especially the Viking material and Celtic and Old English stuff, this we think, okay, let's try. And so we have a friend, and he's a guitar player from Creator, Sami. And so he's a great guitar player. And so we try with him. We ask, "Hey, you can come, but you can..."
Yeah. Yeah, it's an very, very old friend. So Sami Ilisirenu. Yeah, and we asked him. He is living in Finland, and we called him and told him about the idea that we want to play our own songs in the metal version, but we don't have a metal guitarist in our band, you know. And he was listening to the idea and listening to the music, and he said, "This is the best idea since a long time. You really want to do it." So then he came to Berlin, yeah, and then we started to rearrange our own songs and create a completely new version. So I was cleaning my old drum set, because before I entered Corvus Corax a long time ago, I was a metal drummer. And so, yes, and then we started to play our own songs in the metal version, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, the first was Ragnarök. And so when we hear that thing and say, "Hey, that is real metal."
Yes.
Let's make an album. And then yeah, the idea was great. And also when we start to play it live, was so much fun. For me was okay. First time was hard because I'm a medieval singer. So, but then I think I have to sing not so different, a little bit harder, but not so much. So I don't have to do like hardcore, but it's
not necessary.
And so last year and this year we had so much fun with our new project. And the good thing is that we sometimes play with Corvus Corax, normal, and then we play with Era Metallum. And so we have, or sometimes also is Cantus Buranus. And so we have so much fun and different fun.
Oh, that's very very interesting point that you say. I think it was a different work from we are very accustomed to hear about Corax. Era Metallum. It's I think it's a very specific work for the band. I think you using the metal traditional instruments, the guitar play, the drum, and it's a very different in the concept of the album. And it's a very very nice to hear. You think the person like somewhat this type of work with metal, or the traditional of the band with the folk instruments? How did you perceive this? The public say about the work. How you say that they like to watch the metal instruments or the traditional instruments in the band?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is first, we love all the ideas. So we love to play with Era Metallum. We love to play with the normal Corvus Corax. We love to do all the time something new, and then we will see if the people will like it or not. But I think a lot of our fans, they love the metal thing as well. And then there are some people they think so. We want only the traditional idea. Other people think I only like the metal version. So it is, and this is a lot of fun because sometimes then the people mix together on festivals, and we're bringing people from different scenes together. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, it's very very cool to see this different work in the band. And I have a curiosity. How do you consider the most important composition of the band? Many musicians say, "Oh, don't ask me that because it's so difficult to choose the composition that most like." And what's for you? It's the biggest composition of the band have. That you most like.
We have. I saw we have one. You can see in your paper how many people look and paid for this, and so it is normal. We can say is the song Zwerka. So the most people in the world, they hear the song Zwerka, but it's also
the most famous. Yes.
Yeah, it's the most famous. But some years ago was Mille eine Passisund with Dracula, but for us it's not possible to say. Yes. Because we love everything, and then we start to have new favorite song. And for me now, my favorite song is Beowulf because it's fast and powerful. But last year was Libelten. And I think that every time change. And when we had a concert with Cantus Buranus, I say, "Oh no,
this is the best thing."
Now is the classic version from Corvus Corax is my best thing." And so for business, okay, Zwerka, but for our private thing, we can't say.
But for the biggest work this was Cantus Puranus, because we not only compose for our own band, but we compose for a big choir and a big orchestra, and to bring all this together. This was the biggest and longest work. We really had to do a lot because it was something new. And but you know what? If there would be a CD we don't like so much like another, then we would have to do something wrong. So I love all CDs we did.
Yes, and we are so different in our projects. And we are happy. We are really happy with that. Also, we have no other band as Berlin-DE Beat. It's a totally different style. So we have different crows and totally different music from the 20s from Berlin. 100 more than 150 years old music. I sing in Berlin slang, and this is the fun what we have, because other groups, they have only one style, and sometimes they have to make a break for a long time because they feel boring. Never for us.
Not possible.
That's nice to know, because I have a lot of bands that say, "Oh, we need to stop some time and continue," but the band continue and produce a lot of music, a lot of release of the albums, and that's amazing that you do this work, because many bands have this time to stop and sometimes return in 4 or 6 years, but your band continue and you never stop the work. That's cool, because we have all new material every time to listen, and it's amazing. It's
also we have one musical,
right.
but it's not so interesting for you because it's in German. So the lyrics are totally in German, and it's a story, a dragon story. But also this was in that time when we played this was great, because we had 3 women, and they were singing with us, and one friend, he was playing keyboard, and so was also really crazy mixed medieval instruments with some modern stuff, and fantasy story. So, and
a fantasy musical with medieval music. That was excellent as well. Yeah, we're doing all the time something new, something different. And I think a lot of musicians, they think about the success they will have when they produce something new, but it is nice to be successful, but first it is important to do what you want as a musician. That's, I think, this is for us, this is the engine, this is the power behind that we are always doing something new, because we really want to do it.
Yeah, and the good thing is that we have our own record label, and so we can do what we want. So we don't have a producer and he say, no, this is more professional and this is more popular stuff. We can make more money with that. So we can do what we want, because our own label. So he will say, "Hey, I cannot make money. you must make more popular, more like Britney Spears." Yes, I will do it.
Oh, yeah. So there is no company or so which can tell us what to do or what not to do. So we are totally free in what we are doing, and this is maybe not in a professional money earning idea, maybe not the best constellation, but to feel free and have a good mood with everything what we do, it's the perfect idea. Do all the stuff yourself.
Oh, that's very nice. So it's important that the record label say you have this free to doing what you want in the your music, and this is very nice, because sometimes they say, "Oh no, we want only this type of music, only this type of video," and you have this freedom to using your creativity to produce. That's very, very nice. And you doing Beowulf, the song, doing this partnership with the singer Doro Pesh. What it's to work with Doro?
This
It's
was not
different.
only Doro, because we had the idea to make the normal Era Metallum CD, and then we were thinking, we know Doro because we met in the first time, I think, was in China. So we had
together.
one concert together in Beijing, and so then we met in Wacken, and then we think, hey, why? And I was playing with her in Wacken because she asked me, hey, you can play here in this song the bagpipe. Oh, no problem. And then we asked her, hey, you can sing Beowulf, and she said, oh, those crazy language. And I teach her Beowulf, and she said, yes, this is really crazy. I like to do that. And then we asked some friends if they can sing. So we only changed my voice with And then when we made it, we say, hey, we have the second CD.
Second CD, yes.
The crazy second CD. Many people love the second version also, because they are sometimes the heroes from them.
Yeah, we have really nice guest vocalists. So we have Hansi Kirsch from Blind Guardian, or und we have, what's the name? Das muss ich in Deutsch, wie heißt sie denn irgendwie? Holy Moses?
Sabine.
Yeah, then we have
Sabina
from Holy Moses. And so old, most of the time, the old German metal heroes, so. And I'm really happy that we have some female singers, because we know all this metal scene, especially in the past, now it's a little bit better, but it's most of the time only men, but they can show that women can be a great metalist as well, they have powerful voice, and yes, that's so cool to have.
Yeah, you have to look in YouTube, because you can find Doro and Sabina Klaassen together, and
right.
They in Wacken, and they sang a song "Too Drunk to Fuck." And it is crazy.
This is absolutely punk metal monster show. Cool.
I think Doro and Yuta when Hold was the best singers, I think, of metal and female metal. I don't know if you know Yuta and Hold. It's a metal singer, but she is the band of Zadiago. Do you know the singer?
No.
It's the same. It's very similar to the style of Doro to sing.
Oh, okay.
He's not. She not are very. How can I say? Not the same prestige of Doro. Doro is much more knowledge for the persons, but I think Yuta are very powerful metal singer in metal.
Yeah, right.
And how does it start the inspirations from the band? How bands inspired your sound, the Corax sound?
The life.
To inspire, we are inspiring ourselves. So we don't have bands. We laugh and think, this is very nice. You want to do something similar. So
no, never. So we have one library, the own. Also, we're in Berlin. We have a very big scientist library, and I can look and find the lyrics. And I think when we walk, or I like to drive bicycle, and then when I'm more than 1 hour, then my brain starts to bring me ideas. I think it's the taste of endorphine.
Yes.
And also sometimes if we read some stories and we think, hey, so we have for the future, we have some ideas, but we will speak about. And sometimes we have crazy, if we are on tour and we are in a lightliner and it's the bars where you can sleep, and we made parties there, and then we think, hey, we have to do this, but it's never have to do with other bands. So my hero is my grandpa, not a musician.
Oh, that's very very interesting thing to say. To me, it's the same. I am very inspired by my grandpa and many things that I do in my life, and that's very very nice. See that your hero is your grandpa, and some musicians say, "Oh, it's Iron Maiden, it's Queen, it's very many of the bands that are in the posters here in my."
Yeah, the problem is that I don't know Iron Maiden. I don't know Rob Halford or so. But my grandpa, he can. He
could tell.
Yeah, he teach me. And he could tell me stories. So this is what I have in my brain, what I remember.
Oh, that's fantastic. And many lyrics of the songs that Corax that you say are in language that are different, but sometimes do you think in doing a concept album in English or in doing an album that have possibility of doing in the language that more knowledge for the persons that have an idea in the band to do this, or
as Corvus Corax? No.
And Corvus Corax?
No.
It's music about old times, and we are using old languages. We have what we talked earlier. We have sometimes new project ideas, and this was Berlim-DE. In this case, we are singing in German, but then it's not Corvus Corax, because this is a very important thing. Corvus Corax is music from old times, about old times, and yeah, that's the same. If there would be a record company or a big management, they will tell us you have to make a CD in English to be successful. But you know what? Not interested in.
we our last Corvus Corax album, it's Scowl. So we had some German songs, but and the people can understand. Sauf noch ein, drink one more, and it's an old style, but it's so that the people can understand.
So sometimes they're doing it a little bit.
Yeah, we translate it a little bit, but we'll sing in high German. And
we have one song in English, the Drinking Loving Dancers.
Drinking Loving Dancers, yes. But it's also sometimes it's a little bit of old style. The English people will speak like this, so it's in the old style, and yeah, but the people will like it, yes. And if we like to sing in English, we can make a side project with Corvus Corax. We will call it maybe
English Corax.
English Corax. But our English is not so good, so we can do it in German or
with subtitles.
Yeah, but I think Corvus Corax don't need that.
No.
And
then it's a different atmosphere when you're using old languages. Is creating other pictures in your head. Ich muss mal ganz kurz irgendwie. I'll be back in a second.
No problem. That's very nice. I like this attitude to say no. We don't want to sing in English. Don't for just so more. We need to do the language that we like, and I like this attitude of the band. Do not change and continue to doing what you love, what is more important. I think it's very very nice. And do you have ideas for the future of the band? Do you intend to release one more album? Have a concept of new songs?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
is it going to work?
So the thing is that for Era Metallum, we have some ideas, but I don't will speak about because it's too new, and we don't like that other people do. They are faster. They do. But now in the time we work on an Corvus Corax album, and it's called 1,000 Years Dance Music. And so it's old music, but it will be very funny. So
That's nice.
and we don't know when we will release. I think beginning of the next years, but we in December we will start the first show. The first show will be in Texas, and then we will have some concerts in Germany, and also the release will be next year. But the people can dance. They will dance.
And for the Brazilian fans, have a plans to come to Brazil again?
I hope so next year.
We hope.
Oh,
It's always difficult to organize because we are from the other side of the planet, kind of, and we have a lot of people, we have a lot of luggage, but yeah, it was very, very nice in Brazil, and we definitely want to come back.
Yeah.
So any promoters listening to this, just give us a call.
And also,
totally agree.
and I think we'll have to come with Era Metallum, because I know the Brazilian people also like metal. So first was Corvus Corax. Maybe next time we'll come with Era Metallum. And yes. Yes.
Yes, and we love you guys. We really like your songs. That for me was a very inspired songs. I start when I was a child to listen to Corvus Corax. Made of all part of my life since I was a Viking Age researcher, and I study a lot songs and meet many of these characters. Like in example, you have a song like titled Odin, and I started to meet more Norse mythology for the band in my case. And guys, I would like to talk more about the beginnings of the band, with some albums and EPs that you release. How is you compare the start of the first works to the new album Era Metallum? For like the Cantus Baranus 2, the first albums, that do you see similarities or changes in the type of that you produce the songs? Have a change in the sound? How do you give an example about that?
Yes, it is really hard to say, to tell, because our history is really long, and of course we had this kind of evolution. So you can't say since at a special moment we changed our style. So but we are, we are not like other bands who find this one way to make music and then doing it till the end of times. every CD is something new for us, but it's always our heart. It's in it all the time. So, and of course, we have the drums, we have the bagpipes. In the past, there were mostly pipes and drums, and then we added more other instruments, like we created the biggest hurdy-gurdy in the world, and so we added all the time some new instruments, but we still sometimes playing somewhere on very small places, and then they are like the beginning. So then we are the band with drums and bagpipes. So, and I think when you listen to the first CD from the 90s until now, you will hear that it still covers Corax.
Yeah, I think one thing was when I was in a library and I read a story about fight stunts. It's was in a medieval time. The people, the minstrels, as a musician, they go on the street, and then was a very big epidemic, pest. I don't know English.
The Black Plague. Yes.
The Black Plague, and so in that time, the musicians say, "Hey, you will die. Come with us and dance the last days in your life." And this was a little bit like techno in Berlin, because Berlin is very famous for techno. And then Corvus Corax start to make like a little bit history. That's
dance music.
Yeah, that people dance, and we played like techno, and then a little bit like breakbeat and bass, drum and bass. So and then we had first time we had one drummer, and then we had two. Sometimes we try with three, but two is important for us, that we have a little bit the rhythm, different rhythm, like the normal, like the other bands. And so now the style is 1,000 times. The medieval bands have two drummers or three. Sometimes we're wondering how is the rhythm, but for Corvus Corax, it's important to have this kind, that the people can dance, and this was not in the beginning, because we don't have we start not with the drums. So, and
really
what was the evolution?
It's the evolution, yes.
Yes, and we start to hear modern dance music here. We were in the night dancing
a lot, all night long.
Psych, struck, and rock and roll, and we think, okay, we can mix it. We can mix it a little bit, because nobody knows how it was in medieval time. Only I was reading that it was totally crazy, that the people start to eat mushrooms, and then they dance like like in the club. So, and we think, okay, we will do the same.
Yeah, I think, as I said, the band was one of the first, I think, to make lyrics based in medieval things. I think, because I don't remember if we have a lot of bands that do songs that like Corvus Corax starts. I think you are one of the first that inspired the new bands that's begin to serve for the times, like the bands, actual bands like Faun, Vardruna. I think Corvus Corax was one step to what it was next to start.
Yes. So the bands like Faun and Omnia, they are inspired from Corvus Corax. They told us, hey, I heard your music and you inspired me, and so without you, we don't exist. And so we have many friends in all over the world, and we are proud for that. But also we are proud that some bands they play the same style. I'm not interested to hear that, but I think it's crazy to hear Faun and Omnia that they found a totally different style, or some Spanish Russian bands, and also some Mexican bands. Now we have 2 Mexican guys in our band, and so it's it's a crazy evolution, but also in the music style.
It's a good feeling that to know that we inspired a lot of other musicians and that they created something new. So to see bands playing just the same songs like us, because they're just like a cover band. In the medieval scenes, it's a weird thing. There are a lot of cover bands, they're just playing our songs in our style. This is no inspiration. This is copying it. But so many bands all over the world told us that they listened to our music long time ago and were inspired. But when listening to their music, they're doing something totally different. This is great. To have the feeling that we supported other musicians to create something new. That's cool.
Also in Brazil.
Yes, we have a lot of musicians that
say, okay, we start now to first we hear your music, and then we start to play your music, and later we try to do different things, and then when we spoke with the people and say, hey, you have to put your own culture into and mix it with Corax music, that will be great.
Yeah,
that's nice. We have a lot of bands that was inspired by Corax in Brazil that try to do this medieval period or Viking Age, and they say, we are very inspired by the work of Corax. And it's interesting thing that I want to question the band is you have participation in the pilot of Game of Thrones, but they decide don't use the part of the band was appearing in the show. What is the story behind of this? The participation?
It was kind of bad luck. So and they made first one movie, the pilot, and they asked us, and we had no idea or what will happen. So okay, we do it, and then they recorded everything, and we went back to Berlin, and we went on tour here in Germany, and then we got a call. Yeah, one of the main actors was changed for the serial, and so they had to make most of the recordings again. And then we told them, yeah, you know what? Now we have our club tour here in Germany. We can't. We should maybe, if I could take the clock backwards, then maybe I will come to this point that they will ask us, and then I will tell them, okay, we can quit some of the shows and play it later, and we will be part of this Game of Thrones movie, of the serial. But so they had to cut us out because that was the Kathleen Stark. She was a different actor, and she was all the time sitting in front of us. And when they cut them out and to have to record it again, they had to cut us out as well. But when you watch the first part, the first serial part, and you see the party thing, and you watch very, very good,
like this,
then you can see me
without head.
The head is not in the picture, but you can see me with the davul, this drum you can carry, So I am part of Game of Thrones. So we were so close to be extremely famous, but then, yeah, so it is.
That's
the interesting thing was, so when they started to prepare the Game of Thrones idea, the producers were checking the World Wide Web for compatible music, and finally they find us, and they thought, this is the band we need for this people at the Stark castle, you know. So good for us to know that we would be totally perfect to fit there. Yeah. And then we were talking to the producers all the time, and they told us, you know what, it's so sad, and we really want to have you back in the serial, but then because of the story, there was no chance, because you know the story, the House of the Darks was destroyed, so no party anymore, so no use for Corax there.
Oh, that's sad, because it's would be a fantastic thing of Corvus Corax participation in Game of Thrones. It's I would like to see this. It's a thing that it would be a history in all the band career and history for the series, because it's a thing so different, and you combine with the series, because series have many medieval artifacts appearing in the series, and I think it will be great to see this episode. They recording the episode and they don't use, and that is the story of this episode, the pilot, and they don't use the pilot, and they intend, and do you know if they intend to show this episode in some way that the Corax are appearing?
No, because they took part of the pilot to use it for the first part of the first serial. So so there's no, the Game of Thrones thing is, so it's part of our, it's a fun fact in our history.
Yes.
That's nice. And guys, for our last question, I have a curiosity. What's the name you search, Corvus Corax? How do you have the idea to put this name for the band?
This is the Latin name for the raven. And in that time, when we start when we start with Corvus Corax, we had one raven in our band.
A real one.
And it was a woman, a lady raven. And we think, hey, she's not like a mascotchen, she's a real member from the band.
This bird. Yes.
Yeah. And okay, let's think about the Latin name and Corvus Corax. I look for, Corvus Corax. It's not easy, but it's a really good name. Also the history. So Hugin and Munin, they are ravens. In every culture, the raven is a very important thing, also in the Christian, but in Christian, the raven are very, very bad. Because in German, we say the, I don't know, it's in Paloma is also Portuguese. Paloma?
Portuguese.
Because in German, we say the papas, black palomas. It's a raven and the crows.
Oh, in Brazil is Corvo.
Now I mean
the name of the bird.
Dove. Yes.
Dove.
The dove. But you know, in the Christian idea, the ravens are bringing the bad luck and the death and so. But but also the pagan idea, usually the ravens are really powerful birds with a positive idea behind. Yes. So, and you know what? They are very clever. The ravens are clever. They are totally cheeky. And the biggest power.
The biggest singer.
Yeah. Yeah, they're singing very good. So that's the name for our band, huh?
Yeah. And they are good cleaners, because if you have many bad corpses, the raven comes and they will clean the place.
They will clean up when the humans kill each other. The raven clean up the space.
That's
Okay,
fantastic.
we had another appointment, so we need to come to an end, unfortunately.
Okay, no problem. I will finish the interview. It's my last question is that thank you so much, guys, for doing this interview. It's a big pleasure to talking to you. I never expect that one day I will meet the members of Corvus Corax. It's a big pleasure to receive
You're welcome.
you.
You're welcome. And hopefully we see us soon again in Brazil.
Oh, that's nice. It'll be very nice to meet you in person.
All right.
I will just stop the recording.